Alright, so lesson 5.8, we are talking about slope-intercept form, and hopefully this is familiar. We talked about it quite a bit actually when we were doing 5.7. So this is the second page of your notes for 5.8. Get this filled in, please. Y equals mx plus b. The m, right here, the m stands for the slope or the rate of change. Same thing, you need to know both. The b is your y-intercept. Right? Anytime you have a slanted line on the graph, all right, so anytime you have a slanted line, whether it be positive or negative, your equation has both an x and a y variable in it. If you have a horizontal line, that is going to be, for an example, you're only going to have a y variable. Anytime it's just a horizontal, it's y equals 3. That's an example. Y equals 10. Y equals a negative 8. If it's a vertical line, you're only going to have the equation x equals a negative 7, x equals 10, x equals whatever, all right? All right, let's practice. Identify the slope and the y-intercept of each equation. So, looking at this equation, y equals the negative 2x plus 6. What is the slope? What's the m, the slope in this equation?
Negative 2.
Excellent. Don't forget the negative. The negative 2 is my slope. What's my slope here? Let's just go down and do all the slopes right away. What's my slope here? The what? Yep, the 4. What's my slope here? Do I have one?
No. Yes. No.
Okay, and on our notes before, if it's y equals 7, it's going to probably be going like through this. So what's my slope of that line? What is it?
7.
Nope, the slope.
0.
The slope is 0. What is the 7? The 7 in this case is the what? The b, which is your y-intercept. That's where we cross the y-axis at. All right, what's my slope here?
Half.
1/2.
And then
And my slope for e, let me draw it for you. What would that look like? X is 2. It's going to look something like this. What's my slope of that line?
none.
Not
None.
0, not none. Undefined. That has an undefined slope. All right? Now that we got the slopes, now let's go and do the y-intercepts. What's the y-intercept of this equation? 6. What's the y-intercept here?
Negative 1.
Nice, even got the negative, because it is a negative right here, a negative 1. And we already said the y-intercept here was the 7. What's my y-intercept here? What is it? Yes, again the negative 5. And what is my y-intercept here? Where does it cross the y-axis? So do we put 0 or none?
None.
We write none. Because if you put a 0 there, you would be telling me it goes through here, and it doesn't. It does not have one, so none. All right, we have to match the graphs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go through and let's just start with number 1. What is the slope of y equals 1, or oops, y equals x minus 3? It kind of slipped. What is it? 1, because remember there's that assumed 1 with your x. So my slope is a 1. What's my y-intercept?
Negative 3.
A negative 3. Now let's look at our graphs, A, B, C, and D. My slope is a positive 1. So that means it can be which of the graphs?
B or C.
B or C, are they both positive? Which ones have a positive slope, a positive 1? Which ones have a positive slope?
C and D.
Yes, it can be either C or D is what we want to look at, because those are the two graphs that have positive slopes. So process of elimination, we know it can't be A or B. It has to have a positive slope. Now which one of those, can we tell which one of those has this y-intercept of a -3?
D.
D, this one goes through the -3, doesn't it? This one goes through the 1. So it has to be what?
D.
D. Alright, so this one's now done. Number 2, what is the slope for number 2?
-4.
Excellent, a -4. What is my y-intercept?
-3.
A -3. So it's a negative slope, so that means we have what and what to pick from? We have A and B to pick from because those both have negative slopes.
B.
And now it has to go through what though?
-3.
It has to go through the -3. Which one of these goes through the -3 on the y?
B.
B does. And you can check the slope too. -4 over 1. Run 1, up 4. Yep, that works. Left 1, down 4. Yep. All right, number 3. What is my slope? My slope is what? Not 4. -4. What is my y-intercept?
1.
My 1. All right, so now, because we use B, now this one is out. Now it's either A or C. Which one do we want to look at? It's got a -4 slope. Which one is negative, A or C? A. So we're hoping it's A, but let's double check. Does it go through the does it go through the 1?
Yeah.
Is the B, the y-intercept, does it go through a 1? Good. Does it have a slope of a -4? Left 1, down 4. Oops, down 4. Yep. Right 1, up 4. That works. So we know this one has to be what?
C.
C. Let's see if it matches. What's my slope for C? 1, because there's an assumed 1 with my x. And my y-intercept? 1. Does that match the C graph?
Yep.
Goes through the 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1. Good. Because you always want to check to make sure your last one matches. If it doesn't, then you're going to have to go back up here and see, oop, where'd we go? Identify the slope and the y-intercept of the line with the given equation. Use the slope and the y-intercept to graph the equation. All right, so y equals 2x. What is my slope?
2.
It is. My slope is 2. What is my y-intercept? No, good guess. No, good guess. 0. Because remember it's 2x, y equals 2x, they don't write plus 0 there. It's kind of like the assumed 1 with the x. If it's there, we know. So the slope is 2, the y-intercept is 0. Now we can graph it. Just by knowing that information, we can draw that graph on our coordinate. Where do I start? You always, always, always start somewhere on the y-axis. And that's going to be the y-intercept. What is our y-intercept? Our y-intercept. Careful. Our y-intercept is
0.
the 0. So we start at the origin here. Ooh, so this is also going to tell us this line has what? 2 words, D and a V. Direct variation. Yes, it's going to go through the origin. So we know that it is also what? It starts with a P. Proportional. You rocked it. Nice job. All right, so now we can graph this. We know we start at the 0 on the y-intercept, so everybody's got their pencil at the origin. Now my slope is 2. That means we have to turn it into a ratio, 2 to 1. Rise over run. So where do I run? How many am I going to run? 1. To the, this is a positive 2. So we know that our graph better be running in the positive way when we're done, or otherwise we did it backwards. So how do you want me to go? Right 1, up 2. And do it again. Right 1, up 2. Right 1, up 2. But I want you to also do it backwards from the origin. What would I do then? Left 1, down 2. Left 1, down 2. Because that would be a -1, -2. That's the same thing, they're equal. What's a negative divided by a negative? Well, it's still positive. So then you use your straight edge, and you draw your line. There, you just graph that equation. The equation for that is y equals 2x. Then it asks you here, name a solution of this graph. Wow, there'd be there's gobs and gobs of answers. Pick any point on this line. Pick a point on this line. Just any point as long as it's on the line.
0, 0.
We could use 0, 0. We could use 1 and 2. We could use 2 and 4. We could use 1 and negative 2. Which one do you guys want to use? What? 1 and positive 2? Okay, so that means your ordered pair is 1 and 2, right? Here's my x, this is my y. So if I put that into this equation, I put the 1 in for the x, the 2 in for the y. Does that work? Does 2 equal 2 times 1? Does 2 equal 2 times 1? Yes, it does. So any point that you pick on here, let's do negative 1 and negative 2. If I put negative 2 in for my y, does a negative 2 equal 2 times a negative 1? Ends up being a negative 2 equals a negative 2. Does that work? So any points on here. So you could have listed any of those and gotten the right answer. You just have to list one solution. How many solutions does this equation have? What would Buzz Lightyear say?
Infinity and beyond.
Infinity and beyond. There are an infinite amount of answers. It's infinite. So that's for any line that goes on and on. Any of the graphs, any of these lines. How many solutions are there? It's infinite. All right, let's do the next one. What's my slope? What's my slope? 1. What's my y-intercept? A negative 8. All right, let's graph this. Where do I start on my graph? I start negative 8 right here, right? No, absolutely not. Why not? Because my point has to be on the y-axis somewhere, never on the x when we're doing it this way. So where do I need to put that dot instead? That point needs to be where? Do I start at the 1 or the negative 8 on the y? I need to be on the b. The y-intercept is the negative 8, so get your point down here. Now I need to do my slope, which is a 1. What do I need to make that into?
Over 1 up.
Yep. 1, make it into a ratio, 1 over 1. Whole number, put a 1 under it. So rise over run. Which way is this going to run? To the right or to the left? Because it's a positive, it's going to run to the right. So make sure you always check that. Right 1, up 1. Right 1, up 1. And then go backwards, left 1, down 1. Left 1, down 1. Take your straight edge and go through that. Somebody give me a solution to that one. Any solution? 3, negative 5, did I hear? 3, negative 5. Does that work? This is my x, my y. If I put 3 in for x and a negative 5 in for my y, does that work? Does a negative 5 equal, what's 3 minus 8? What's 3 minus 8? A negative 5. Do they equal each other? Yep, so we obviously did something right there. Now it's just y equals a negative x. What's my slope? Ooh, nice call. It is a negative 1. What's my y-intercept? 0, because like I told you before, they don't write plus 0 here. So where do I start on my graph?
Origin.
Yep, the 0, the origin, all excellent answers. Now what am I going to do to graph this? Which way is my graph going to go, left or right? Left, because it is? Negative. So starting at the 0, the origin, where do you want me to go?
Over to the
Over which way? To the left?
Left one,
One.
up one.
Up one. Left one, up one. And then at the origin backwards, then what would I do?
Right one down.
Excellent. You guys are getting this. Nice job. And you take your straight edge and you go through those. Y equals a -7. What's my slope? Is there anything there with the x? So on this one, if you're not sure, you can always come back to the slope. What's my y-intercept? Y equals a -7, so I know my y-intercept is a -7, right? So y equals a -7, so on the y-axis, find your -7. And now what do I do from there?
Just go straight up.
Is it going to be a vertical or a horizontal line? Do you want me just to follow the y-axis like this? Does that mean y equals a -7 every time? So if I go here, would y equal a -7? No. But if I go like this, every time then y is a -7. Because we would go -5, -7, 5, -7, 10, -7. Now that I have it on the graph, it's a little easier for me to remember. What kind of slope does it have? What is it? It is a horizontal line, but what kind of slope? Remember, if you're a skier on that?
Yeah.
0. You're not going anywhere. That has a slope of 0. All right, letter E. F of x, what does that mean again?
One.
Nice. That means y equals, what's my slope? Yep, 1/3. 1/3. My slope is 1/3. What's my y-intercept? 4. So where do I start? Tell me where to start from the origin. Up, down, left, or right?
Up.
Up, how many?
4.
Great. I'm going to start here at the +4. Now I want directions. Left or right? Right, how many? Rise, over, run. This is up and down, the run, left to right, depending upon if it's positive or negative. Okay, so where do you want me to go?
Over 3, up 3. Over 3, up 1.
Up 1,
Over 3.
up 1, left 3, or left 3, up 1? Does it matter?
No.
If I go right 3, up 1, I'd be here. If I go up 1, left 3, I still end up here. So right 3, up 1, or maybe you like to go up 1, left 3, whatever you want. And then go backwards, because we want to go to the other direction as well. Left 3, down 1, left 3, however you prefer. Take your straight edge, go through them. X equals 6. X equals 6. Now it's not a y equals, it's an x equals 6. What kind of line is this going to make? Show me with your hand. X equals 6. It is, what kind of line are you showing me for those watching the video? You're showing me vertical. So what kind of slope does a vertical line have? Undefined. You're that crazy kamikaze skier at the top. You don't know where you're going to land. Your slope is undefined. What's your y-intercept?
0.
So it's going to go through the origin, 0?
None. None.
Ah, none. Excellent. None. Let's graph it now. Tell me where to go from the origin. Where do I go to start? Because I said you always start on the y-axis.
Right 6.
If it's y equals, but this is x equals. So tell me where I need to go.
Right.
Right to the 6, because x equals 6, they're telling me. And you said what kind of line? Vertical, because it has that undefined. So we followed this line right there. What's the solution of that equation? Give me any solution along that line. blurt one out.
6, 3.
6 and 3. Give me another one.
6, 1.
6 and 1. One more.
6, 5.
6, negative 5. All excellent answers. Because this is my x, this is my y. If I put this up here, does 6 equal 6? Yep, x, y. Does 6 equal 6? Yes, it does. How many answers on this again? My Buzz Lightyear people.
Infinite.
Infinite. Okay, 2 left and I think we're done. What's my slope? 1/5. What's my y-intercept? Negative 5. From the origin, where do I start?
Negative 5.
Okay, so go down to the negative 5. Now, what kind of slope? Positive or negative? What kind of slope do I have? Positive, so make sure our line is running to the right. So what do you want me to do?
Over 5, up 1.
Okay, right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 1. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 1. Do it backwards. Left 5, down 1. Or down 1, left 5. However you like. And then you make your graph. And the last one. H. What's my slope? A negative 3 over 4. What's my y-intercept?
0.
0. Because we don't do plus 0. So from the origin, where do I go to start?
To the left 3 and then up 4.
Oh, good, because you're telling me the slope. So you're telling me I need to start here at the 0. And it's a negative slope. So which way will your line run? To the left. So what do you want to do? Left or right 4? If I go left 4, then I'm going to have to do what?
Up 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I go right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 3, 1, 2, 3. Make your line, and we're good. Your homework, I want you to do pages 3 and 4 in your packet. 3 and 4 are in your packet due tomorrow.